Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Breakfast and Business. As you come in, please let me know if you're live or on the replay. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from so that we can work out who we're reaching. Make sure that you say hi so that I can see who's in here, who's part of the community. I always love to know who we're connecting with. Also, get an idea of who we're helping and where we're reaching around the world. So, also, as you come in, if you're new to Breakfast and Business, I'll break down how it all works. But if you're used to it, you'll know what I'm going to say. Make sure that you're passing this on to someone else. Make sure that maybe it goes out onto your page, maybe it goes to your profile, maybe you send it via WhatsApp or text message or Messenger. Give this as a gift to somebody else today. Pass it on so that they can join us for Breakfast and Business, and we can grow the community and help even more people. Now, today is part of a series. If you're brand new to Breakfast and Business, the way that Breakfast and Business works is we have an overarching theme for the whole week, and then each day we break that theme down. This week's been slightly different with Q&A every single day around different topics. Monday, we covered websites and the importance of a website as the only place where you control the whole customer experience. Tuesday, we launched into Google My Business, the biggest free piece of real estate on the internet, to get yourself listed and found by people at the time when they're searching and their intent is high for the purchase decision. Wednesday was all about Q&A around the juggernaut that is Facebook advertising, Facebook as a platform, and the community that's on there, literally billions of people that you can reach through the platform. Then Thursday, we launched into LinkedIn Q&A, anything around the business-to-business platform, the place that is changing and innovating, owned by the guys over at Microsoft that are doing things to the platform and bringing new features like stories and the events side of the platform. So covering all of that over on Thursday. Friday, all about social selling and sales, the art of bringing people into your business through showing up, providing value, building that trust equity. All the things that I talk about on a regular basis are really important, and we covered those yesterday. Now, today is anything business, so come with those business questions. Maybe it's a tool, maybe it's a system and process, maybe it's pricing, maybe you need some help just getting your head around something to do with business, maybe it's finance, maybe tools, maybe systems and processes, but bring your questions today. This week has all been about question and answer and answering as many questions for people as possible. Even if you're not sure about asking it publicly, you can reach out to me as I'm Tristan G across all the socials and ask those questions in between Breakfast and Business. We do this 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. live for you, to give you the opportunity to come in and to join us as we go live and we share this. In the same way, I'm going to encourage you guys who are in here, please do go in and hit that share button. Let's pass this on, whether it's to your wall, to your profile, or whether you look to pass this on through messages or tagging a friend below. It doesn't matter what way we share it, but it's all about sharing it. If it's valuable to you, remember it's going to be valuable to someone else as well. And so just for a minute, I'm going to take a hot minute to do exactly the same thing now, just to share this out, make sure that it's out on my profile, make sure it's in my groups, and then we'll launch into today's topic. But as you come through, make sure that you've got those questions ready as well so that we can answer as many of those as we possibly can. One more share there, and then we're going to post into the group, and then we'll launch into today's topic. So remember, today's topic is Q&A around anything business, maybe pricing, maybe structure, maybe processes. But whatever it is, bring those questions and let's get you as much help as we possibly can today. So let's quickly do this. One last share and we are in with today's topic. Good morning, Bev. Nice to see you. And remember, as you come in, please do let us know live or on the replay, and also where you're tuning in from. And let us know down in the comments so that I know who we're connecting with. Cool. All done, all launched into all of those different places. So today we're going to cover all the business things. Bev's coming in hot and ready with some questions already this morning. So we're going to go through any questions you've got, and I'm also going to share some tips and some advice around business and business structuring and stuff like that, so that we can help you as much as we possibly can. So let's get into this morning. So Bev is asking over here, good morning. Nice to see you in. Regarding pricing, struggling to find the added value between monthly clients and putting forward a VIP offering. So there's a lot to be said around how you build your pricing structure. So as we talk today about pricing, remember that you need to have offers that are going to help people at different stages. We have everything from a free community that you can find at itsnomad9.com/free social help, all the way through to working one-to-one with people that's £800. So it's exactly that process that helps people to understand that there's different levels, there's different structures. We have the free community. We do breakfast and business 6 times a week, every day for half an hour at 8 a.m. Good morning, Angus Grady. Nice to see you. Caught you a little bit on networking yesterday. Wasn't sure because there was a couple of different shares going on where the best place to comment was, but I hope you had an amazing time at networking. Good to see you in on the live this morning. But remember, we do this Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. UK time. We do it 6 days a week for about half an hour each, an opportunity to come in and get help around specific topics every day. Now, Bev, we're going to need to deep dive it a little bit more, looking at struggling with finding the added value between monthly clients and putting forward a VIP offering. So, for example, for me, I will only work with an absolute maximum of 10 people at one-to-one at any given time, so that I can give so much time and attention to them that it's literally like, we joke about the fact that my mobile phone that I demonstrate with all the time is red, and anyone who's old enough to remember will remember that the original Batman series, the Bat phone, was red as well. So we refer to this as the Bat phone, which means that those people we work with on one-to-one have access to us much more easily, much more readily. It's a dedicated phone number that isn't the main phone number for work. That means on those days off and times around that, we allow them to keep in touch. And obviously it gives us an easy way to track who's contacting us. So for us, that's one way we manage to do that. We also set parameters around different people at different levels and different stages as to when it's all right to be in contact and how much availability they've got. When it comes down to the pricing, it really does matter on a few different things here, Bev. So one thing you need to consider is, how much do I actually need to earn? How much do I want to earn in any given month or year? And how much time have I got to do that? How much do I want to work? So for some people, they want to earn a lot of money and they don't mind putting the time in. So they're happy to work those longer hours. And you need to know how much time you're prepared to put in for the amount of money you want to earn, so that you can then reverse engineer things. You also need to factor in all the administration time and cost to your business. Maybe you're using tools. Maybe you're having to spend a couple of hours a day doing lead generation, doing administration, emails, follow-ups, finance, all that good stuff. And that is non-billable hours. So you need to consider today, when you're looking at these kinds of things, it's really important that you are remembering the non-billable hours. So many people in business, when they're first starting out or when they're trying to set out pricing, forget about non-billable hours. These are things that they're tasks every single day every single month that need doing. Every single business has these. They're called non-billable hours. They're administration. They're all the things that your business has to do that you can't bill for, and you have to factor that in when you're setting your pricing for the hours that you can bill for. Super important that you remember that when it comes to pricing. So many people, it's one of the most common mistakes that business owners make, is not allowing that to happen. With regards to the value offering, Bev, is we need to deep dive a little bit into what the monthly client gets, so that you can look at how you add more value to that. Maybe it's that you check in with them much more often, that you've got some dedicated time that you spend with them. Maybe you get them to come into specific calls. Maybe you, obviously, post-coronavirus, it might be meeting in person. Obviously now would be video call time that you spend with them, going through things, checking in, and you proactively go and check in with those people who are in your VIP offering. You're going to go and chase them Obviously, on the one-to-one clients, you still provide the amount of value, but it's maybe, for example, without knowing all the details, maybe it's that your one-to-one clients, you have, a couple of hours every month where you meet with them and it's scheduled. With your VIP offering, you're going to be proactively chasing them, bringing them ideas, sharing news articles with them, sharing the funding options with them, sharing opportunities, speaking opportunities that you've found with them. There's some amazing opportunities to offer more than you already do to other people. So I'm not sure here whether you're actually asking within the pricing structure how to price the difference. Remember that if you don't have a high priced offering, there will be no opportunity for people to take it. Quite often when people put their products and services out into the market, they only have one or two offerings and they don't have a big high ticket item that people could purchase, because there will always be people who want more than you currently offer. So always having it on the table, even if you're not entirely sure what that looks like, giving people the opportunity to work with you and have like a vague idea of what that's going to be, but you could flesh that out as you go into it. And obviously the same as we run with things, I always say full price or free when we come down to pricing. And what we do is the only exception to that is doing things like beta testing things. So maybe you launch something with a small intake so that you can see how that works. And that might work with your VIP offering, is that you're going to do similar to what we do, where maybe you can only have 10 clients that could ever be in that you can only have 10 people in that process at any given time. But to launch it, you're going to allow 5 people in at a different price so that you can work out what that looks like. A lot of people struggle to do it and to create that pricing structure and work out the exact value until they put it out into the market. So you might have heard about minimum viable product. This is saying, what do I need to put in here to get some people on board so that I can test it, tweak it, get their feedback. In the same way that we launched our mentoring group with a beta program that allowed 10 people to join at a specific rate that's not the final rate, but it's the rate that allowed them to get in, see what it was all about, and actually to come and give us the feedback and tell us what they want and how we could improve the service so that we deliver even better for everyone else. Ollie Jones, amazing to see you in the house this morning. I know that on the weekdays it's difficult for you to get here, but incredible to see you in this morning on the weekend. So good to have you in on the broadcast. We're just answering all business questions, systems and processes, pricing, maybe it's tools, maybe it's how to do lead generation, whatever your questions are for business today, fire them down in the comments and I'd love to help you out a little bit as well. So Bev's saying, I've answered what she needed. It's all about the packages and the unbillable stuff. I need to start breaking down what I do and put it into packages. So let me just break down that unbillable stuff again, because a lot of people don't get this. But just before I go into that, I'm just going to have a quick sip of my coffee and then I'll launch into this morning's a little bit more into that topic about how we break down the hours and the unbillable hours. So just give me a second to have my coffee. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to hit the share button whilst I have a quick drink, and then I will launch into that pricing side again. So let's go through that again. For example, if you have 40 hours in a week, you're going to work your standard week, your Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or whatever hours you choose to do. And you've got 40 hours a week that you can work. During that time, you're going to have to spend time doing lead generation. You're going to have to spend time doing administration, reading emails, checking your social media accounts. Obviously, you can extend this out by bringing in team members that will help you to do this and help you to free up your time. But obviously there's a cost element to that. So let's work as an individual at this point for this example. With 40 hours, maybe, for example, you're only ever going to be able to do 20 hours of actual FaceTime with clients. And most people underestimate the number of non-billable hours that they have to do in order to make their business work. Your business will not function if you don't do the administrative tasks, checking your emails, posting to social media, doing lead generation, attending events, checking what the latest industry news is, reading articles, creating content. These are all things things that you're not going to get paid for directly, but that all build towards how your business grows. Checking all of your social profiles, updating your Google My Business, taking photos, creating videos, making graphics. All of these things don't directly earn you money, unless of course you're a graphic designer, for example, working for someone else. But for your own business, for your own content, for your own administration, you don't get paid for those hours. So if you've got 40 hours in a week, and in a week you need to make, for example, it's pretty easy maths. If you've got 40 hours and you were going to charge, most people would think if I need to make £800 in that, it'd be £20 an hour because I've got 40 hours. The problem with that is they're not allowing for the non-billable hours. If you take out the fact that maybe so maybe we're going to say that out of 40 hours, you can only do 20 that can be billable. What you're going to end up with is only being able to make £400, which is half of the amount you thought in the first place. So always factor in unbillable hours, the time that you have to do administrative tasks and you have to do the things that you have to do in your business that will never be chargeable to someone else. You have to do that with all of your pricing. Once you get to that point, having that breakdown, I can give you an idea. For us, we have a chart on our whiteboard that shows us in a given month with a target. We know that which of our products and services, how many of each we would need to hit that target. So, for example, we have a product which is actually referred to as It's Nomad 9 Academy, which is the one-to-one service, which is £800 a month. So, of course, if we're aiming for let's say a £2,000 target on that given month, how many new clients would we need into each service to do that? Within Academy, we're looking at 3, but then if you go right down to the bottom end, we have services that are around about £30 a month. So we have this vast difference and we can work that out. And it's easy. Each time you add one in to one area, it impacts the numbers on the other. So we use a whiteboard, we wipe those numbers and we change them throughout the month so that we can see how close to target we are every single day of the month. So that as we go through, of course, those administrative tasks of doing the lead generation, doing the follow-up, having those conversations, all of those things that are happening are easier to do as well because of that board, because of those numbers and things that we have moving forwards. I hope this is helpful to you guys because a lot of people don't factor this in. A lot of people don't realize that you have to allow for non-billable hours. So pricing structure is super, super important. In fact, a lot of the time when we open up conversation for people to ask questions, this is quite a common question, is around pricing. A lot of people are never sure when they're starting out how to price things and how to get things right. You have to factor non-billable hours into everything from the beginning. Otherwise, you're always going to be playing in arrears. The other things you need to factor in is if you wanted to make that amount of money, you also have to factor in all the expenses that the business is running, because obviously if you need to hit £1,000 target in a month, but you also have expenses going out of £200 or £300, you now have to get to £1,200 or £1,300 in order to clear that £1,000. Again, depends how you're setting your targets as to how you would do this, but it is super, super important that you are looking at those non-billable hours. So guys, if you've got any other questions around bits and pieces to do with business, really excited to be helping you this morning. Quickly just sharing a few bits into Instagram as we go through this. I want to help as many people with this as possible. We do every single day helping businesses with digital marketing, social media, removing that overwhelm from that content creation side, that maybe it's even just on social media. In fact, right now, during this month, we're emailing out every single day to a group of people who are interested in a content creation challenge. So removing that overwhelm by showing people that really everything is content. It could be a written note, it could be photos, it could be videos, it could be all the things that come to your mind throughout the day, but you're not capturing them at the moment. We talk about documenting, not creating. And a lot of people, a lot of people forget about all the bits and pieces that go into how you run your business, the marketing, the capturing of what you do within your business. So the documentation side, when you realize that documentation is greater than creation, you're going to start documenting more. So maybe you've written a note and you've taken a picture of it. Maybe you've been on a call and you've taken a photo, maybe taken a selfie. Like in person, it makes much more sense to us all the time to realize that we can go in there. If you're with someone at a networking meeting, grabbing a quick picture with them because you haven't seen them for a while. We can do the same thing with a screen capture on a Zoom call. We can do the same thing with if there's a networking meeting. I know I share lots of bits. If you follow me on Instagram and my Instagram stories, you'll see a lot more of my behind the scenes. For example, when I'm doing things like I'm on big calls or conferences or talking, I tend to have things like I have my time lapse running at the background here, and then, for example, while I'm on a call, I'll go like this and I'll quickly grab a picture of that and we'll post that out. What I'm doing is utilizing my most valuable asset of time to create more content, and I want to encourage you guys to do that. Everything is content as we go through. So grabbing screenshots, taking photos, writing notes and taking pictures of those. We utilized voice to text within the challenge this week as well, to show people that you really can create a whole wealth of content quickly once you have the good systems and processes in place to do it. But without the systems and processes in place, it's difficult to stay on track and on top of how to create that content. So, for example, content creation, lead generation and marketing. Quite often what a lot of people do in business is they fall into this feast and famine cycle where they do lots of marketing, lots of advertising, creating content, being on social media. Then they get busy, which is great, really good work. What you did worked and it brought the business in. And then they start to deal with the clients and they haven't allowed the time for all that administrative work that needs to carry on happening. So when you get busy, the reason I set the non-billable hours so high in the example, out of 40 hours being 20 hours, is when you don't have clients, the 20 hours will be lead generation, marketing, and working out what's happening with your business moving forwards. When you get to having lots of clients, those 20 hours will be serving clients, but also still doing marketing, still looking at what's happening in the industry and doing general administration tasks. So when you're not busy, 20 hours might be around marketing, lead generation and sales side. But when you get to being busy, maybe 10 hours is on actually delivering products and services to clients. That is the administrative part of that, not the thing that actually directly pays. And then so you get more administration when you have clients on, but obviously it's being, some of it is billed, but there are incidental costs that have to be factored in to your non-billable hours. So you maybe have to keep on top of your CRM system, making sure that you're keeping on top of emailing and updating. And those things specifically don't directly earn you the money, but they are part of the process of having the customer. So maybe you get down to 20 hours broken into 10 and 10, where some of it is still driving for new business and the other 10 is keeping on top of the business you've currently got. And so many people move that whole 20 hours to dealing specifically with stuff to do with the existing clients, which means that they go feast. We got loads of customers and clients in and we're helping them, serving them, we're doing all the administration behind that, or we're too busy to do the administration we did before. And then when those clients finish working with them, they suddenly haven't done any marketing and they hit this famine stage where people don't come through because they haven't done any marketing. They haven't been doing the stuff that brought those first customers in. It's really, really quite easy. Daniel Priestley talks about this in terms of laps, leads, appointments, presentations, and sales. You need to be doing a set number of each of those to know that you're on target. You need to generate a certain number of leads. And then from that number of leads, so for example, maybe you get 100 leads. From 100 leads, maybe you get 20 appointments. Out of 20 appointments, so that's having a catch up and finding out where they're at and what they're after. Maybe then from 20, you get to present to 5 of those people. And then out of 5, you might get 1 or 2 sales. So then you know how many leads you need to get in. Once you get a predictable flow of this, you'll know how many leads you need to get in so that it turns X amount into appointments. From that number of appointments, how many go to presentations? And from presentations, how many go to sales? You can call it whatever you want, put your own names and terminology on it. Laps works really well for easily remembering it. But that's exactly the process that every business is going through all the time. It's just not systemized for every business. If you're a new business, quite often you don't consider all of these things. You need to generate a certain number of leads so you can get a certain number to appointments, certain number from appointments to presentations. And then from those presentations, that's where you make the sales. It's slightly different in the way that people do things. For example, for us, one of our core products is our content creation service. And for a lot of people, their route into that is they will have heard me talk about it. Maybe I've given a talk at an event. Maybe I've done a presentation. Maybe they've seen one of my Facebook lives and they've heard me talk about it or seen the demonstration or the graphic, or maybe they've just discovered us through search online. And then the next step for that is for them to go and book a call. So we're actually leaping straight from that lead generation, which is obviously someone discovering us or us going out to find them, which is done through our content, straight through to presentations. So we jump through the appointment. We don't have to do the backwards and forwards part, because most of the time they either see it and book and they go straight to a presentation. That presentation usually converts into sales. So we're jumping the process slightly. Some people will reach out and ask a lot of questions, and we go through that appointments process. Then we get to presentations, and then we get to sales. But that process is predictable within the business. You have to have a good structure in place to make sure you know predictably how many people need to come through your business in order for you to make X amount of sales. When you know you're making X amount of sales, that's going to help you understand how you, your cash flow, how much money you've got coming in every single month. And that's going to help you to grow your business. Because, of course, as you know how much money's there, you know how much you can reinvest in changing things, in bringing in new team members. I said you've only got those 40 hours in the week. Obviously, one way to expand out those hours is to outsource parts of the job. I know that Bev, for example, is definitely one interested in looking at what she can outsource and how that works. Remember, there are only certain parts of the business you can outsource. People connect with people, and it's important that you give people what they need in order to work with you. For example, for me, I have a lot of FaceTime with clients. I do a lot of the calls, I do a lot of the strategy, and I have people who need access to me in order to be able to work with us. And obviously, I need to also be mindful of the hours that I have already committed to other things. So we have a mentoring group, we have a free community that I show up in and do Q&A for 5 hours a week. And then I have an hour of training. Again, in fact, that's today on a Saturday. We do 1 hour of training in our free social media community. If you haven't joined that yet, I'm going to drop the link for you guys over here, but I'll say it for you guys on Instagram. It's nomad9.com/free social help. And that's basically take you straight to our free community. We do 5 hours of free training there. 5 hours of free Q&A. So I'm live and I'm available for 5 hours every week, Monday through Wednesday, for people to drop in and ask their specific questions. They can always ask in the community anytime. And then to do an hour of training on a Saturday as well, all completely for free. Very similar to what we do in Breakfast and Business, but helping people with a specific topic. So this week, every week we change up what the topic is, but today we've got an hour happening later on in that community. If you haven't already joined, you've got a chance to go join. You'll have to answer a couple of questions to get in there, but we're making sure that we've got capacity to do all of those things. We still need to be able to do the 5 hours of Q&A and the hour of training there. So 6 hours every single week that go into that community. We've got time where we're curating our email list and sending stuff out to those different segments of our list. So the people who are on the content creation challenge, for example, sending that out and creating that into the group and community so that people can go and take part in that and be on that challenge as we go forwards. And then obviously there's the lead generation stuff that we need to do. There's our general administration that we need to do. All those non-billable hours I was talking about, those all need to be factored in. So as you move forward, make sure that you factor all of these different elements in. I'm going to quickly share this. So remember, every single day through Breakfast and Business, we give you the opportunity to engage with us, to talk to us, to ask your questions. So this week is specifically question and answer based. We're coming up for half an hour. So if you've got any more business questions or topics that you'd love me to cover, if we can, we'll get as much into this as possible this morning. Otherwise, I can reach out to you. If you're watching on the replay, feel free to ask questions down in the comments. And if it doesn't get covered during the session, I'll come back and I'll try to respond to as many of those as possible to give you all the opportunity to do better business and to work out how you can change your business for the better. Everything that you ask, remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. It's about showing up, asking questions, taking action. It's not about the information that I share here. It's all about the implementation of that information. I can't do the work for you. I can share with you how to do it, good systems, good processes, tools, and pricing, all of those good things that you need to know for your business. You're the person who has to go and implement it. Go and put it into practice in your business. Find the right way to implement the information into your business. The real magic happens when you implement the things and you take action. It's all very well hearing things and thinking, that's great, I should do that, but nothing happens until you do. So go out there today and start putting some of this stuff into practice. Start going and implementing things. If you haven't, if there's nothing from this broadcast, maybe things from throughout the week. Remember, we've covered a whole range of different topics throughout the week. Monday, starting with websites, Tuesday, Google My Business, Wednesday, Facebook, Thursday, LinkedIn, Friday, social selling and sales. And then today, anything business. Talked a lot about billable hours and non-billable hours. We talked about pricing structure. We've talked about administration. We talked about how to set up for success by looking at your leads, appointments, presentations, and sales, how you have that as a predictable workflow to avoid feast and famine. Every day on Breakfast and Business, we have a clear focus that sits under a weekly goal that we want to help people with a specific topic. We do it for half an hour, 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. for half an hour. You can join us live or catch the replay. It's where you're watching this now. You can watch the replay. We create playlists and things for you to go back to. Instagram, you guys have to go to IG. You watch on IG live, or you can go to IGTV to catch all of the replays. But for today, that's it. We've come into the half hour mark, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys had this opportunity to ask questions, get some help and support for the things you need to know in your business. It's not too late. If you came in towards the end and you still got questions, feel free to drop them down below and I will fire you back a message to let you know what my thoughts are around your questions. So even if you're catching this on the replay, or you've just come in on the end of the live, you can catch the replay to see what we discussed, or you can ask your questions below and I'll help you as much as I can in a response. Maybe we can connect and I can give you a little bit more help. I hope you've had an amazing time this morning. I hope you've had an incredible week. Great to see some new faces in who don't normally get to be here. Great to have some questions coming in. Guy, nice to see you coming in on the broadcast. Apologies for only just spotting your comment there. Angus Grady, great to have you in through LinkedIn as well. But I hope that you've had an incredible week, and that remember, the help is there if you need it. The support is there. We've got the community if you wanted to join that. We've also got the challenge if anybody wanted to take part in that challenge. It's nomad9.com/challenge. That will be an email, a set of emails that come out every single day that show you how to find content in everything. Everything is content. When you understand that everything is content, you can start to go and to leverage that and to start creating more content, becoming more visible online, and starting to have more impact and influence through your business. You guys have been incredible. I love spending time with you 6 days a week, half an hour at a time at 8 a.m. We've hit the half hour mark. We're done for today. We're done for this week. Keep your eyes peeled for the event on Facebook and LinkedIn for what's coming up next week. I love doing this. I love being here. I love connecting with you. And I really appreciate your time, effort, energy, and attention to come to Breakfast and Business. If you enjoy these broadcasts, the one ask that we have of you is tell some other people. Share it with them. Maybe you post it to your wall, maybe your profile, maybe in some groups that you're in, maybe even stick it in your email newsletter if you're looking for stuff to share with people that adds value. Feel free to pass that on. If you get value, pass it on to other people. Tag them below the videos that you think are relevant to them. And I will catch all of you guys again on Monday morning at 8 a.m. for another Breakfast and Business. But all that's left to say now is have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. And I will catch you guys all again Monday morning at 8 a.m. for another Breakfast.